For videography, what are the precautions or what are the standards we need to follow in order to do the videography on the crime scene? So first point, as you can see, what it says is plan the video, shoot carefully. Okay. So whenever we are entering into the crime scene, so from which place you are going to enter into the crime scene, and like how which path you are going to follow for your uh, photography and for recording your videography. So it is important that you don't make a mistake that while following your path of photography or videography, you don't step on some evidences, or you are shaking some other evidences, or you are disturbing the crime scene. So it is very important that while entering into the crime scene, before entering itself, you should be prepared in your mind, or you should draw the diagram or the track of your videography or photography. Okay, so once you are ready with your plan of entering into the crime scene for your videography, you can just proceed ahead. Okay, so plan the video, shoot carefully, take video of the scene in its original state from multiple angles and distances, take video of fragile evidences first. Fragile evidences, like evidences that can be disturbed or destroyed easily. So along with the fingerprints, because after some time the fingerprint that is going to destroy, or some other stains are there which you think after drying up it will not be possible for us to visualize that thing. So we must record those things into our video. And the advantage is also like while you are doing the videography, any evidences which are changing with the time duration, okay, that thing also you can record in your videography. Suppose you have some fingerprint, some oily fingerprint is present on the glass plane. So if you take the videograph of that thing, and with lapse of time, as the time passes, the fingerprint material is going to dry. So ultimately, once it was wet, it will be easily visible. But slowly, once it is drying up, it is going to be invisible. So you can record that thing, you can record that process in your video also. So that is the advantage of what you call your videography. Always take video of the scene before and after alteration, such as when the play cards and scales are placed near evidences. Okay, so it is clear with the statement itself, like we should complete the videography 2 times. One without the placing of the play card or evidence cones, and again reshoot that same thing while placing your evidence cones and the play cards. Fine. Exclude officers, bystanders, or onlookers and others at the scene from the video. Turn audio off. So here in this statement, 2 important things are there, like excluding anybody who is not relevant to our investigation. Okay. So our prime focus of our videography should be to record the evidences. Any other person who is standing in and around, that you don't need to record in your video. Second point is turn audio off. So what is the advantage? The advantage is, like if there is some extra unwanted noise that is there, so that should not harm your video. Okay, but at times audio can be helpful also. So it is up to our wise decision how you take that video carefully, and how you are going to manage with the audio quality. So whether that audio is helping you, or it is destroying your quality of videograph. So judicially we can go with that thing. Take overall or long range video to show where the crime scene occurred. Then again, as the crime scene photography we have done, come to the mid-range videography to show relationship of evidence and other points of interest. And then again coming close to the particular evidence and showing the details of that particular evidence. I use a sturdy or rigid tripod whenever possible to reduce movement while taking the video. So one more thing is like when you are doing the videography, so as you know, like the video cameras are heavy, the big ones. So to carry the video camera all through your investigation, throughout the videography, throughout the crime scene, it will be little difficult because the weight is more. And to manage the shakiness or to avoid the shaking of the video, at times it is advisable to use the tripod. And also while we are moving into the crime scene, suppose from the overall photography, you are coming close to the mid-range photograph, videograph, and then you are coming to the close-ups. So while you are moving, what you are doing is you are walking on the foot. And at the same time, you are holding the heavy loaded video camera also. So you'll have to be very careful that your hands are not shaking, because if the hands are shaking, so obviously the video quality that is being recorded will be of poor nature. Okay, so these are like some points which we need to consider. So always use the designated safe route when moving through the scene. That means you should not disturb any article inside the crime scene. Move from the exterior to the interior of the crime scene and from the general to specific focus. That means the path or the track, what you have drawn, what you have defined into the crime scene, that you should follow. And along with that, the general crime scene you are going to record. After that, in a very specific evidence. So that particular evidence also you should record in your videograph. So the videography session should occur in an uninterrupted, systematic, focused manner. When planning the route into the chart or into the target, these are some of the questions which we should consider, like how did the victim or suspect arrive at the crime scene, or how he left the crime scene. So with that idea, we can go ahead with the videography. Which items were handled, like if there is a table and some cup and saucer is there, so obviously they might have touched the handles of the cup. So in that case, you need to record those things also. Which items were moved, if there is some drag mark or such kind of mark, obviously things have been dragged. That is moved from one place to other. So if such kind of idea is there, or such kind of evidence is there, some where dragging mark is there, or you think some article have been moved from one place to another, like what happens is if an article is placed on one place for a longer duration, so dust is going to accumulate only around its place. So once you remove that particular item, so under that there is a clean area. So if such kind of situation is there, so we should record that thing also, because that will give you an idea that some article is definitely removed from that place. So if some articles are broken, or if you think there is some foreign stained material present on the article, so that thing also it should be recorded in your video. So have potentially flammable vapors been detected at this, like if there is in case of arson, so in that case, if there is a smell of it, some petrol is there, some kerosene is there, or some fire smoke is there, or leakage of LPG is there. So obviously we cannot videograph that thing, but sorry, but in your videograph, you can give your audio statement that during the videography, the smell of this particular type is recorded in our video, or in the crime scene, such kind of smell is there on the crime scene. So those things also, because you are an investigator, you are a forensic expert, you are the photographer, videographer, whatever you say or whatever you give your statement into your audio, that thing also plays an important role. It is just like your statement or testimony into the court also. Okay. So precautions. So certain precautions, well, while you are recording the videograph. So what is the precaution? The precaution is use slow camera movements. Okay, because suppose if you are moving your camera very fast, okay, so what will happen is, if you are moving your camera very fast, so whatever objects you are going to record, those objects will not be captured properly. So there will be some smudging and blurring of the object. Okay, you try to understand. So any fast movement object, if you are if you are moving your camera very fast, so what will happen is the object is not coming clear. So in that case, what you do is you move your camera very slowly. So with the slow movement, you are able to capture your videos or the objects into your camera with much clarity. Same goes with your focus also, or the zoom also. So while you are zooming in and out, while you are bringing an object closer to the camera or moving it away from the camera, that also you should do it very slowly, so that the third person or the judge who is seeing in the court, so he gets the real clear idea as to what is being recorded. Okay. And if you do like zooming in and out very fast, the third person will not get an idea as to what you are about to reflect into your videograph, or what is that you are going to show in your videograph. So you should do that thing very slowly. Use the tripod whenever possible. When recording a long, narrow area such as side yarn or train tracks, use tripod or slow zooming. Unless using it will disturb either the scene or other team members, always avoid walking while recording a long, narrow area. So what it is saying is, suppose there is a depth in your videograph. Okay, the area is not very wide, but in fact the area is very narrow and very deep. So in that case also, if you are going to record the video, you will have to focus your video in such a manner that maximum depth you are going to record in your video. And along with the depth, if you are zooming inside that particular area, so zooming also you should do it very slowly. A high camera angle such as with the overhead view may be required to show individual objects that are on similar planes. Record entry exit point from all possible angles. Show any paths used during the crime. So actually the entry and exit point of the crime scene, we are hypothetically analyzing it. So it is not 100% sure that the person might have entered from this area only. Okay. So whatever possibility is there for the exit or the entry, both things should be recorded in your videograph. Whatever possible ways are there, whatever possible entry routes are there or exit routes are there, so all those things should be recorded in your videograph. So the thing is, the photography session is completed here. Okay. So anybody, if you are having any doubt